Hi there and welcome to TechQuartersTV and Happy New Year everybody. Well, today we are incredibly lucky to get Sara Yirrell with us, who is the ex-editor of CRN and is going to tell us all about the new stuff that's going on in Sara's life. So Sara, what's interesting is that I've known you for a long time now, you know, and we have some fun at some of these conferences and just learning about CRN and the channel. From your good self, and of course you were the ex-editor of CRN, but you've taken a different path in the last few months, so care to tell us about that, why and what you're doing now?
Well, I'd been editor for 10 years on CRN and I'd actually worked there for 16 and a half, nearly 17.
Wow.
Which is a long time, and it was just time for a change, time to let someone else take the reins and maybe take it in a new direction, and also the commute. I'd just had enough of commuting into work into London.
Yeah, fair enough. We're going to talk more about that later, aren't we? I see you've got a silver watch, not the gold watch for 16 years, no? Okay, never mind.
All right. Plastic one. Oh, okay.
I'll have a chat with Doug. You know, the channel has changed, you know, massively over the last 5 years with the advent of the cloud really coming to the fore, and I mean, it's changed for all of us really. You know, we've heavily got into the channel ourselves, TechQuarters. So, you know, how do you see it has changed in the last 5 years, and you know, where do you see it going in the future?
I think it has changed, but it also hasn't. It's a very strange one, but we've been talking about cloud on CRN for about 10 years, I think, really, when we first started mooting cloud. But surprisingly, I did some research with CRN about 3 or 4 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, and people are not as advanced in the cloud as they think, or as we all think. It's still, people are very much at the beginning of their journey still. So I think there's still a long way to go. And I think this year and maybe the next couple of years is going to be when cloud really takes off. Yeah,
I think so as well. I mean, it was fascinating. I did a presentation, it was a keynote the other day to a load of IT directors and managing directors, and I said, so hands up who's on Office 365? Thinking, you know, because I'm immersed in Microsoft, oh, everybody will put their hands up, you know. And there were fewer people maybe in the room, maybe less than 10%, but that were selling it, but actually the people that were using it was greater than 50%. So there's a definite uptake.
Absolutely.
I think people just need to get to it, use it, and then suddenly it's like, they see the benefit of selling it.
You can't avoid it. It's coming, it's happening. And I think it will become more customer driven as well. So customers are more aware of what they want and what they need, and they're realising the cloud is the way to go. So they will be the ones pushing maybe some of the more reluctant players into getting into the cloud, really.
Yeah, it's fascinating as well, as we do a lot in GDPR, and as you know, one of the things is to really ensure, you know, your cloud SaaS provider, as the processor, has all the right privacy laws in place. So, you know, do you think that might affect the cloud, or do you think they'll just get to grips with it, put their legals in place, and away we go, GDPR compliant?
Yeah, I think everyone's talking a lot about GDPR, and you can't really escape it, can you? But I think people say it's I think I heard a saying that it's 5% IT and the rest is legal. So I'm not sure, it's going to be talked about a lot. We're going to hear it more and more, I think, up until May when it comes into force. But I think we're going to see some examples of people not getting the right regulations in place and getting prepared for it, and I think that's when it will really take off.
Yeah, quite. I mean, the Uber thing, the Google thing with the iPhone, so there's some really good case studies there. So let's see how GDPR goes and where we're going to go with that. So yeah, fantastic bit of channel interpretation there from Sara. So what we're going to focus on in the next episode is CRN itself, its focus, and actually who's winning in the channel.